One of the kids hit the nail on the head. He was like, bro, if everyone knew that was an option, no one would have shared their video. And I tried my best not to break character and just move on quietly because I was like, that is exactly right.
Wouldn't it be?
Welcome back to Diaries of a Mortal Entrepreneur, day 3. And today, not good. I would say, you know those football videos where there's like a premature celebration and the guy drops the ball before he gets to the end zone? That's what yesterday's video feels like for me, except I wasn't even close to the end zone because there's still 7 days left. It was a 2 out of 10 at best. Yeah, let's go through the pain. So started the day with a new warm-up game that went pretty well. There was reasonable level of engagement, but then we did a second game where we showed the videos that everyone had made the previous day. And some of you had asked from yesterday, I did let that girl, I told her she still had to submit, but she did not have to share. And we talked about it. And then right before we were about to go through it, one of the girls who is really checked out, not putting in any effort at all, put in the bare minimum. And once she realized that it was about to happen, she kind of panicked and asked also. I was afraid that would lead to a slippery slope, so I didn't say anything to her, but I just started going through the videos. And they enjoyed each other's videos for the most part. They provided feedback in terms of what the lie was, what type of story it was, etc. Did have a couple times where things went off the rails, including an explosive situation where I couldn't tell if one kid was being stupid or mean or both. And the girl accused him of being racist. So had to diffuse that situation. So that didn't go ideally. And then when they figured out, it was funny, when they figured out that not everyone's video was shown, at the end, they were like, wait, those two didn't go. And I was like, yes, they asked not to share their videos, so we're going to respect that decision. And then immediately everyone was like, wait, that was an option? And they're like, wait, I would have chosen that? What? And then one of the kids hit the nail on the head. He was like, bro, if everyone knew that was an option, no one would have shared their video. And I tried my best not to break character and just move on quietly because I was like, that is exactly right. The presentation for the day was about the ethics of using some of these technologies and just threw some scenarios at them to try to get them to discuss, and that went reasonably well. It was good to see several of them had an initial instinct, and then others kind of talked about what the gray area looked like and why some of these tools, why it might be good, why it might not be okay, what was right or wrong about it. And it was nice to see them think about these things, come to find their initial instincts questioned. So I'm not sure what they learned, but I think the quality of the discussion was good, and they at least engaged with an intellectual topic that they will definitely have to deal with more practically over their coming years. Then we went back to the project, and that's where things kind of fell off. It's clear that probably I had overestimated the engagement level on the project. The excitement was short-lived for some of them, so probably half the overall group is just checked out and putting in minimum effort, and half is engaging with it the way I'd hoped. But that means that's 3 kids together in one group and 1 kid from each of the other 2 groups. So it's a less than ideal setup for 2 of the groups. They worked on their projects and walked through, tried to show them where they could refine and edit using AI when they were hitting some roadblocks. But it just felt like a drag for some of the, and just the energy level was not there. Even the film today, I had a video by one of the fastest growing YouTubers and one of the biggest YouTubers in the world named Airac, Video, they definitely didn't like as much as yesterday's, as well as I had reached out to Eric's manager, and he's going to be speaking next week. And so after the video, I was hoping to parlay that into announcing that he would be here, and hopefully that would generate some excitement. And that seemed to go over very flat. So that was disappointing to me. Probably should have waited to when the energy level was better to bring that news. And then we went back to work and got through the rest of the day, but really got through it is the operative phrase. Lesson of the day. Again, Arvin learned stuff everyone already knows. Today, I really realized you get back what you put in. This was a very hectic day leading up to it. I felt very frazzled and tired going into the day, and also the least prepared of any day, so I can blame the kids for the energy they brought and for their engagement level or lack thereof. But really, my mom always used to say, you point a finger and four fingers point back at you, and that definitely feels right. It's tough to bring the energy and bring the right mindset every day, and recognize that if that slips, it's very easy for that to snowball in a negative direction. Highlight of the day, well, I would say the two highlights are, one, the discussion around the ethics. It was really fun to see them take opposing views, debate each other, have an initial surface level view, and then go a couple levels deeper to think through, what is the implications of deep fakes or using these AI tools to help you craft essays or whatnot. That was really exciting to see them wrestle with those topics. The second highlight was taking some of the scripts that they're working on for their quests and saying, here, why don't we try putting it through this AI, asking, here's where you're stuck, try to see what they come up with, see them actually see the ideas, pick the ones they like, don't like, and actually feel like it helps them make progress. It's easy to talk about these tools in abstract, but to actually use it to figure out how it can be helpful, it was nice to actually walk through it with them in their individual groups. So that's it for day 3. Hopefully we get back on the track for day 4. And I'll leave you with today's podcast from Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson. But it's with LeVar Burton of Reading Rainbow fame, talking about the importance of storytelling for culture. All right. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Tell me something about storytelling, other than the obvious, we all like storytelling, but tell me more because you're in the middle of it. In fact, you're redefining it as we go into this next generation when nobody is reading. All right. So what tactics and methods and tools are you invoking? And what's the importance of it?
Well, there are a couple of ways to approach the answer to that question. One, in terms of tactics, I have whole hog embraced technology as a conduit for literacy, because I think that the evolution of storytelling, and storytelling is as essential to humanity as is breathing oxygen, in my view, right? Storytelling contains all of our hopes, our aspirations, all that we hold dear. All of that which has meaning to us is contained in the stories that we tell. So given that everything that we embrace as essential to who we are and this journey that we're on as human beings, given the importance of it, we need to recognize that it is only a series of technologies that have enabled us to carry this torch for storytelling throughout the ages, throughout the history of humanity. We began with cave paintings, right? And then gathering around the fire and telling stories about the day's hunt, when language became a part of how we related to one another as human beings. So that gave birth to the oral tradition, oral storytelling, which gave way to the written word. That technology of stylus and papyrus was a sea change for how we told stories and communicated, right? And then that written technology gave way to the printing press, was another whole advancement in technology that impacted storytelling, which then led us into the moving picture and sound, of film and television, which I sort of categorize as the cool fire. We gathered around the cool fire now to share stories, right? And now we're in the digital age And that's another advancement. So when we brought Reading Rainbow back, we brought it back for the digital generation, right? We used television to advance reading, to cement the relationship between a child who is learning how to read and literature. I like to say that if you can take a kid who can read and make them a reader for life, then you've done something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that was the whole point of Reading Rainbow. So the answer to your question is I have embraced technology, Neil, in the service of promoting literature and literacy because that's simply what my ancestors